Well, whatever. Okay. This is your boy Pleb Nation. Apparently, when I was talking, my screen turned off, meaning the recording turned off. So, I guess I have to start over and repeat myself again. Fucking A. So, Sword Art Online, episode 14. I don't want to half-ass this, but I gotta make sure my screen doesn't turn off, because apparently my fucking screen just turned off when I was in the middle of recording. Give me 1 second here to have it not fucking turn off. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'll just do this. So, I'll just fucking, okay, so episode 14 for Sword Art Online Alicization came out. Lackluster episode, very rushed. The fight between Bercoli and Gabriel ended at the end of episode 14. Before I get into that, let's just talk about that episode. So, episode is titled Into Eternity. Beginning of the episode, we see Klein and we see the rest of them. We see Liz, and basically other players start to join in, and they start to help the Integrity Knights against the American players. Okay, so we see that. Moment between, that reunion between Asuna and the rest of the girls, and between Klein and the rest of them, pretty cool. Klein got some, nice, action, so at least that's something. So respect to Klein, he got some great action. So yeah. So after we see, Asuna, she used this, I think she healed herself or something. She basically, Renly, she was talking to Renly, telling them, okay, we need you to teach the other players about the sacred art, because they don't know about the sacred art. So basically, she told Renly, go help them, teach them this, because, yeah, they don't know what the sacred arts are. But cut to the real world. Okay, we see Higa, and we see them, we see Higa monitoring, the floodlights. And this is one thing that I think that I did not like. Okay, Higa is a scientist. Okay, so he saw, a reaction between Kirito's floodlight. He saw that Kirito's floodlight was responding. Now he was like, okay, how do we bring Kirito back? Okay, what do we need to do to bring him back? And he was referring to Kirito as an object, as a, not as a human, but sort of in that scientist-y way. It's scientists are, they separate humans from their own ideals and beliefs. So he goes how do we repair the object? How do we fix Kirito? Because he noticed a reaction in his floodlight. Now, if you don't know, Sword Art Online is about one thing: souls. That's what Alicization has been targeted towards, is souls, because floodlights are basically souls. They basically are real people. They are human. They build memories. They experience what humans feel: pain, sadness, love. And basically, when someone, as a humans, he goes with humans crave, to be social. humans are social creatures. That's what they crave, which is pretty true. Because if you were to isolate someone for, cut someone off from the rest of the world, and for long periods of time, that person would start to lose their shit. That's the simple way of putting it, okay? Now, it's not that when they said repair his soul, I don't know if that was a mistranslation, on the studio's side, but you don't repair a soul. A soul can be, no matter how damaged a soul is, it can't that person can't always come back, okay? Because the one thing that can bring someone back is the memories and that they have built with others, the relationships and the bonds they have forged with others. If you didn't know, in Alicization, when Asuna appeared in the underworld, there was a reaction between Kirito. Like, you saw him, you saw his body move a little bit. Then when, in episode 13, when she came into the underworld, when, they had that little moment, there was a reaction, with Kirito. So he goes like, okay, so we need him to remember who he is. Basically, that's what the whole thing. We need, basically Kirito needs to remember who he is and remember the relationships and the bonds he has forged with others, and why he has picked up his blades. What is the reason that Kirito has picked up his sword? To protect, the people who he cherished, to protect, the people who he has forged relationships and bonds with. So, we had that one moment in the episode, and then this is where, after that, the ending for episode 14, we had the final fight between Gabriel and Bercoli. The ending of 14 was the ending for the fight. So basically, in 2 episodes, they covered volume 17 of the light novel. The light novel of volume 17 was fucking covered. But there's a lot of stuff that Alicization has cut out. If I was to go through the light novel, there's so much stuff that they cut, from the anime. How is it that we waited 6 months for Alicization Part 2, only for in the first 2 episodes, the fight's over. Gabriel, and the fight between Gabriel and Bercoli is over. So, yeah, here's the thing. If you were going to end a fight between Bercoli and Gabriel that soon, you might as well made it 1 episode. Literally, make it one episode. The episode 13 should have been 40 minutes long, okay? If you were gonna, if 81 Studios was gonna fucking just be fuck the fans, fuck us, then, it should have been 1 episode. Episode 13 should have been the beginning of the fight between Bercoli, and then the ending should have been the end fight, the ending between their fight. Episode 13 should have been 40 minutes long, and then the episode 15 should have went into volume 18, because volume 14 basically is the ending of volume 17. Volume 15, episode 15 will be cover volume 18, because in 18 we got basically what happens at the beginning of 18. Is, if you don't know POH, Vasil, that's his name, right? Yeah, Vasil. Okay, Vasago. Okay, Vasago. I always think it's Vasil, but it's actually Vasago. Vasago Casells. He is the leader of Laughing Coffin. Okay. Now in Volume 18, he basically tells the Korean and Chinese players that the Japanese are the bad guys, that they are just using you and all of that. So he turns the tide, to their side by manipulating, the Korean and Chinese players. That's what Volume 18 covers. I don't really know what to say, except all I feel is disappointment for Alicization so far. This is like so rushed. Alicization Part 2 feels very, very rushed. Yeah. And there's a 50-50 chance that they will cut Vasago's POH. They will cut his backstory. Because Vasago, or more commonly, people know him as the leader of Laughing Coffin. He's been around since the beginning of Sword Art Online, okay? Very, he's been around since the beginning. He's a very important character. He's not a character that you can just, let's cut his backstory. You can't do that. You can't cut his backstory. So I don't really, be honest, episode 14, I didn't really feel anything, like when the fight was over between Bercoli and Gabriel, I was like, this is so rushed. Like, if you were going to end something, if you were going to end his fight like that in such a anticlimactic way, because that's what it was very anticlimactic, you might as well just made episode 13 into a 40-minute episode. Okay, cover 2 episodes in 1, okay? And then episode 15 should have went into volume 18, the beginning of volume 18 of the light novel. If you were going to do that, but they completely did the opposite. It was like people waited how long? 6 months? Yeah, 6 months, okay? People waited 6 months for Alicization. I know that they have cut a lot from the light novels. I would literally have to go through the light novels and go through the beginning of Alicization to figure out, okay, what did they cut? How much did they cut? But I know it was a pretty big chunk that they have cut from the light novel, from the anime. Light novel anime. Yeah, they cut a lot from the anime. I have nothing really, guys, I have nothing else to say about episode 14. Okay, cool. Like, the fight between Bercoli and Gabriel was cool. It's like, when, and then we see the memory of, like, when he dies, we sort of see, like, his spirit or his soul, and we see Quinella, because if you don't know, like, Bercoli, in the light novels, Bercoli is a really great Integrity Knight. He's actually one of my favorite Integrity Knights, other than Alice, who is my favorite, overall. But if I had to say, Bercoli is my second favorite Integrity Knight. In the light novels, I felt like I had more of an attachment to his characters than the anime, because in the anime, we really didn't see him a lot. So when he died, it was like, okay, I didn't really feel anything, because it was such an anticlimactic ending. Like, okay, you literally ended his fight in 2 episodes, okay? Like, boom. Bercoli, no more, guys. A1 Studios was like, nah, like, we are going to, episode 13, we're going to do a hentai scene and then we're going to have to fight with Bercoli and Gabriel. Episode 14 is like, oh, ending. The ending was the end fight between Bercoli and Gabriel. He dies. He's dead. Okay, we see Fanato. That's her name, Fanato. I'm probably butchering her name, but Fanato, if you don't know, she and Bercoli had a romance type relationship. If you don't know, that's her name, right? Let me look. Give me a second here. Okay. Okay, yeah. Let me look here. Okay, yeah. Basically, Fanato, she and Bercoli had a thing. You know, they if you don't know, when Bercoli died, Fanato felt it. She felt him die. Now, and you saw her put her hand on her stomach. She is bearing the child of Bercoli. You know, yeah. She is carrying his child. So, I didn't really feel a thing for Bercoli's death just because how rushed episode 13 and 14 were. Episode 13 and 14 was so rushed. There was there's been so much that has been cut from Alicization that I couldn't feel a thing, you know, like, it sucked, you know, we see Alice crying, and then we see, like, Bercoli, you know, we see Quinella, we see Bercoli's soul or spirit, sort of, if you want to say soul, spirit, whatever floats your boat, but we see, Quinella, and this is a memory that Bercoli had of Quinella, when Quinella was actually a good person, you know, before she went into, it was like, I, as someone who reads the light novels, someone who is a big fan of Sword Art Online, I have read all the light novels. the bullshit that A1 Studios is pulling, okay? The BSery that A1 Studios is pulling is just mind-baffling, okay? I don't know what to say, except that it's such BS. That's what it is, okay? It really is. So, that guys is basically, that's basically episode 14. You know, it's like such a very anticlimactic ending. I could sit here and rant more and more, but episode 14 for me was it was something, and there's a 50-50 chance that they will cut POH backstory, but they can't. You know, like, POH is a very important character to the story, so it's like you can't cut his backstory. It's something you can't do, okay? He's been around since the beginning of Sword Art Online. He is POH Vasago. He's the reason that Kirito is in the underworld in the first place. And you know, it's like, if I had to say one thing, I really hope they don't cut his backstory. So it's like we had the ending fight with Bercoli, Gabriel. But there was a mention where Higa was talking about, okay, you know, like how Kirito is reacting to, you know, the people around him, because what's going to bring Kirito back is, you know, Asuna, you know, Sinnoh, like them, you know, because the more they are around him, and when they, you know, the more he reacts. It's like his luck light, his soul was basically damaged. He saw Yu-Gi-Oh die, like before his eyes. The underworld, like the turtle base, was attacked by Gabriel and them. They cut, the power, which in turn, not because, he was already very broken, by Yu-Gi-Oh's death. When they cut the power, they damaged his luck light even more. So, like, yeah, you don't repair soul. So, I would like that. Is that like that must be a mistranslation? That's what I was thinking. Okay, I was like, okay, they must have mistranslated that or something. When I hear people say, "Oh, you can't repair a soul," it's like, don't repair a soul. A soul can come back from anything. A soul can, basically, it's like what makes up a soul, what makes up your soul is your life, all your memories, the bonds and relationships you have forged. And when you have those people around you, you can recover from anything. The soul can recover from anything. So it doesn't, like, you aren't going to repair a soul. I was like, I just, when I hear people say, oh, they're going to repair his soul, I was like, it's like, have you read the light novels? Do you actually understand Sword Art Online? But this is A1 Studios we were talking about. But other than that, guys, let me know what you think of episode 14. Me personally, this is so rushed. Like, I can't, no matter how many times I have said it, I can't begin to explain to you how much stuff they have cut from the anime. How much stuff from the light novel they just cut from the anime completely. I literally, if I was to go through the first light novel of Alicization and then go like to now, I probably would see a lot of stuff in the light novels that is not in the anime. But yeah, that's it, guys. This is my review. It was more of a rant than a review. But let me know what you guys think. Peace out.